The big alien ship hung in space like a giant crystal. It shined with many colors as the sun's light hit it. Next to it, the human ship USS Defiant looked tiny. The human ship was dark gray with the Earth flag painted on its side. Admiral William Carter stood on the bridge. The blue light from the screens made his face look older than his 50 years. His eyes never left the image of the alien ship. "They are calling us again, sir," said Lieutenant Susan Rodriguez. Her fingers moved quickly over her screen. "Same message as before." Carter nodded. "Put them on screen." The main screen lit up. An alien with 4 eyes and purple skin appeared. When it spoke, a computer changed its strange sounds into English. "Human leaders, the Galactic Council gives you one last chance. You must come to discuss how Earth will join the Council. You must agree to our rules. No one has ever said no before." Carter took a deep breath. 3 weeks ago, these aliens showed up at the edge of our solar system. They said they ruled the galaxy. They wanted Earth to join them. But their rules were harsh. Earth would have to give them almost half of everything it had. They would limit how many children humans could have. Many people would be forced not to have children at all. "Ambassador Exil, I have talked to all Earth governments," Carter said in a calm voice. "Our answer is still no. We thank you for the offer, but we cannot join under these rules. We ask to be free and independent." The alien's skin turned dark, purple. "Admiral Carter, you do not understand. These are not rules you can say no to. They are the same for all new species. The Council has been here for 12,000 years. We have 342 species living together without war." "And how many species are free and not under your control?" asked Carter. "None," said the alien quickly. "Freedom leads to fighting. The Council stops wars by controlling all species and resources." Carter stood up straighter. "Then humans will be the first free ones. We told the Council we want to trade and share culture as equals. But we will not give up our freedom or our right to choose our own future." "Your stubborn attitude is a problem," said Ambassador Exil, clicking parts of its mouth in what seemed like anger. "The Council will talk about what to do. Be warned. In 12,000 years, no species has ever said no to Council protection and lived well." When the alien's face disappeared from the screen, Carter turned to his second-in-command, Commander Olivia Wright. She was a tall woman with short black hair who had served with Carter for 8 years. "They don't like hearing the word no," Wright said. "Nobody likes being rejected," Carter replied. He watched the alien ship slowly turn away. "But they better get used to it. Humans didn't fight through ice ages, diseases, and our own stupid wars just to hand over our future to some bossy aliens with big egos." "What happens now, sir?" Wright asked. Her hand rested on her gun, a habit from her years in ground combat. Carter's eyes stayed on the screen as the alien ship moved faster and disappeared into the darkness of space. "Now we get ready, because I don't think they're going to take no for an answer." Back on Earth, people watched the skies with worry. When the aliens first came, there had been panic. Some wanted to fight right away. Others wanted to give in. But after seeing the Council's harsh rules, most agreed Earth would stand free. In a deep underground base in Colorado, Dr. Elaine Foster worked with a team of scientists. They studied the alien technology from the few scans they had managed to take. "Their shields work on a frequency we can track," she told General Richard Lane, who stood watching their work. "If we can figure out the pattern, we might be able to get through them." Lane nodded. He was a short man with a powerful build and 30 years of military experience. "How long until you have something we can use?" "Days, not weeks," Foster said. "Everyone is working around the clock. No one is going home until we crack this." Around the world, humans prepared. Old enemies set aside their fights to work together. Factories that once made cars now built ship parts and weapons. Children helped pack emergency supplies. Farmers grew extra food. Everyone did what they could. On the 3rd day after the alien ship left, radar stations around Earth picked up new signals. Many ships were coming from different directions. "They're trying to surround us," Carter told the Joint Command of Earth's new United Defense Force. "But they're making a mistake." "What mistake?" asked a general from China. They think we're like the other species they've dealt with, Carter explained. Scared, divided, ready to give up. They don't understand humans. We don't give up. When someone pushes us, we push back harder. The first shots were fired near the orbit of Mars. A small human scout ship was hit by an alien beam, but instead of blowing up, it fired back. The alien ship, not expecting resistance, took heavy damage. News spread across Earth. The first battle had gone to humans. People cheered even though everyone knew the real fight was just starting. In space, Admiral Carter gave his final orders before the main alien fleet arrived. Remember your training. Remember what we're fighting for. Every human who ever lived, every human yet to be born is counting on us. We are not fighting for just our lives, but for our right to live them as we choose. As the massive alien fleet appeared at the edge of the solar system, Earth's smaller fleet moved into position. Behind them, their home planet shined blue in the darkness. Unlike the other species the Council had found, humans would not bow down. They would not give up their freedom. They would fight, and the galaxy would never be the same again. The great meeting room of the Galactic Council was huge. Thousands of seats rose up in circles like a giant bowl. At the center was a round platform where people spoke. The room was filled with beings from hundreds of different worlds. Some had scales, others fur. Some floated, others crawled. All were now yelling and arguing. High Counselor Zren Kavar, the oldest member of the council, hit his long staff on the floor 3 times. The loud bang echoed through the room. "Quiet!" he shouted. His skin was pale blue and wrinkled with age. "We will have order." The room slowly grew quiet. Ambassador Exil stood in the center circle, waiting to finish his report about the humans. "As I was saying," Exil continued, "the humans have refused our terms completely. They will not accept population controls. They will not give resources. They demand to be treated as equals." "Equals?" said Counselor Myra with a laugh. Her feathers shook as she spoke. "They barely have space travel. How can they be our equals?" "They are learning very fast," Exil said. "In just 3 weeks, they have already figured out how some of our technology works. They watched our ships and copied our designs." This news made the room buzz with worry. "How is that possible?" asked Counselor Jax Brim. He was from a world of warriors with tough green skin and sharp teeth. "It took my people 100 years to understand Council technology. They call their main research Project Prometheus," Exil said. "In their stories, Prometheus was someone who stole fire from gods and gave it to humans. Thieves and rebels, then," said Counselor Myra. "We should crush them now." High Counselor Kavar raised his hand for quiet. "What troubles me most is how quickly they united. Most new species fight among themselves when we arrive. The humans stopped all their wars and joined together in days. Perhaps we should try a different approach," suggested Counselor Elon Drell. He was one of the youngest council members, only 200 years old. "If our usual way doesn't work with humans, maybe we could offer different terms." "No," Myra said loudly. "If we change the rules for humans, then the Raxan will want changes, too. Then the Vordai. Soon the whole council system will fall apart." Many council members nodded in agreement. Kavar spoke slowly. "Counselor Myra is right. For 12,000 years we have kept peace by treating all species the same way. We cannot change now because one stubborn species refuses to follow the rules." "What do you suggest, High Counselor?" asked Exil Kavar's ancient eyes narrowed. "Send the enforcement fleet to their system. Show them our full power. They must learn that no one defies the Council." "And if they keep fighting?" asked Drell, looking worried. "Then they will be the first species in 12,000 years to be removed from the galaxy," Kavar said coldly. "The safety of all other species is more important than one group that won't follow the rules." The Council voted. Almost everyone agreed to send the fleet. Only Drell and a few others voted against it. After the meeting, Drell walked through the empty halls of the council building. He felt troubled. In his 200 years, he had seen many new species join the council. All had been afraid. All had given in. But these humans were different. He entered his private office and looked at the reports about Earth. Humans lived short lives, most less than 100 years. They fought many wars. They were divided by different beliefs. Yet they had accomplished much in their short history. Drell opened a secret channel on his communicator. A face appeared on the screen. "Counselor Drell," said the alien. "This is unexpected." "Listen carefully," Drell said. "The Council has voted to send the enforcement fleet to Earth. I fear they do not understand what they are doing." "The humans will fight," said the alien on the screen. "Yes, and they will lose," Drell said. "But at what cost? I have studied their history. When faced with destruction, humans don't give up. They become more dangerous." "What do you want me to do?" "Warn them," Drell said. "Tell them to prepare. The fleet will arrive in 3 days." "This is against Council law," the alien reminded him. "Why risk everything for these humans?" Drell looked out his window at the bright center of the galaxy. "Because in 12,000 years the Council has grown too powerful. We no longer serve the species of the galaxy. They serve us. Perhaps it is time for change." On Earth, scientists worked without rest. Dr. Elaine Foster had not slept in 2 days. She looked at the new weapon design on her screen. "It should work," she told General Lane. "We found a weak spot in their shield design. Their ships are strongest at the front but weaker on the sides and back." Lane studied the design. "Can we build enough of these in time?" "We have to," Foster said. "Every factory on Earth is now making parts. People are working in shifts around the clock." In orbit above Earth, Admiral Carter inspected the growing human fleet. They had 12 large warships now. Not enough, but they would have to do. "Sir," said Commander Wright, running up to him with a small device. "We just got a message. It's from someone in the Council." Carter took the device and read the message. His face grew hard. "They're sending their main fleet. 3 days." "How big?" Wright asked. 30 capital ships, Carter said, plus smaller craft. Wright looked out the window at Earth, glowing blue below them. "So few of us against so many of them." "Numbers aren't everything," Carter said. "They think this will be easy. They expect us to surrender when we see their big fleet. They don't understand humans." "What will we do, sir?" Carter smiled. "Carter, what humans always do when backed into a corner. We'll get creative, we'll fight dirty, we'll surprise them." He called Foster on Earth. "Doctor, how fast can you put your new weapons on our ships?" 24 hours for the first batch, she answered. "Make it 12, Carter said. "And I need something else. A surprise for our visitors." "What kind of surprise?" Foster asked. "The kind that makes them regret ever finding Earth," Carter said. Across the solar system, humans prepared for the coming battle. On the moon, they built huge guns that could fire into space. Children were moved to underground shelters. Ships were hidden behind planets and moons, ready to attack from different directions. In the council chambers, Kavar watched as the enforcement fleet departed. He had seen this many times before. A show of force, a quick surrender, and a new obedient member of the council. But deep inside, for the first time in thousands of years, he felt a small worry. These humans were unlike any species they had found before, and he wondered if perhaps the council had finally met its match. Dr. Elaine Foster rubbed her tired eyes. She had not slept in 3 days. Her lab under the mountain was full of busy people. Scientists and soldiers worked side by side, trying to finish the new weapons before the alien fleet arrived. "Will it work?" asked General Lane, looking at the strange device on the table. "It should," Foster said. "We found a way to make our signals jump through space instantly. The aliens won't be able to block our ships from talking to each other." Lane picked up the small black box. It fit in his hand. "Such a small thing, but it could help us win." "We need every edge we can get," Foster said. She pulled up a map of the solar system on her screen. "The alien fleet will be here tomorrow. 30 big ships against our 12. "And the surprise you were working on for Admiral Carter?" Foster smiled for the first time in days. "It's ready. We call it the Trojan horse. In space, Admiral Carter looked out from the bridge of the USS Defiant. Earth was a blue marble below him. Soon that view might be blocked by the Council's warships. "Sir," said Commander Wright, "all ships report they have the new weapons installed. The instant communication system is working too." "And the secret weapon?" Carter asked. "Dr. Foster sent it up an hour ago. It's small enough that 10 fit on each ship." Carter nodded. "Good. Send the order to all ships, spread out as planned. I want groups behind the moon, near Mars, and hiding in the asteroid belt." "The Council won't expect us to be so spread out," Wright said. "Exactly. They think we'll make a wall in front of Earth. That's what most new species do. But we're going to hit them from all sides." Wright looked worried. "Even with our new weapons, they have more ships and better technology." "They have better ships," Carter agreed. "But we have better people. Their fleet has never lost a battle. They don't know how to deal with losing. We humans lose all the time, and we learn from it." In the Council ship leading the fleet, High, Enforcer Vrack studied the reports about Earth. He was a tall, thin alien with gray skin and 6 fingers on each hand. "These humans are strange," he told his second-in-command. "They keep fighting even when they should give up. No species has ever rejected the Council's protection before." "Perhaps they don't understand what they face," said his second. "Perhaps," Vrack said, "but I want you to be careful. Do not underestimate them." The alien fleet moved through space toward Earth, 30 large ships surrounded by smaller ones. They had done this many times before. Show up, fire a few shots, and the new species would surrender. It was always the same. On Earth, people watched the skies. Some prayed, some cried, but most felt a strange pride. For the first time, humans were standing together against a common threat. Old enemies were now friends. Rich helped poor. Everyone did what they could. In a small village in Africa, children packed food for the soldiers. In China, old factories worked day and night making parts for ships. In America, people opened their homes to strangers who had to leave coastal cities that might be attacked. Dr. Foster looked at the final test results for her weapons. "It's time," she told her team. "Send the signal to Admiral Carter. Operation Prometheus is go." In space, Carter received the message. "All ships, this is Admiral Carter. The enemy fleet will be here in 6 hours. Remember your training. Remember what we fight for. Today we fight not just for our lives, but for our right to live them as we choose." The human ships moved into their hiding places, behind the moon, near Mars, in the shadows of asteroids. They waited. The Council fleet arrived at the edge of the solar system. Their sensors showed Earth ahead, a blue planet with 1 moon. "No sign of their fleet," reported an alien officer to Vrax. "They might have hidden on the far side of their planet." Vrax frowned. "Scan everything. They must be somewhere." The Council ships moved forward slowly. They expected the human ships to appear in front of Earth, to make a last stand protecting their home. But the human ships didn't show up. "This is strange," Vrax said. "Send scout ships forward. Find their fleet." Small Council ships flew ahead. They passed the orbit of Mars. Still no sign of human ships. "Perhaps they have given up," suggested Vrax's second. "No," Vrax said. "It's too quiet. Something is wrong." He was right. As the Council fleet moved deeper into the solar system, sensors on their ships started to pick up small objects floating in space. "What are those?" Vrax asked. Before anyone could answer, the small objects suddenly came to life. They were tiny ships no bigger than lifeboats, but they moved very fast toward the Council fleet. "Destroy them," Vrax ordered. But there were hundreds of these small ships. They didn't fire weapons. Instead, they attached themselves to the hulls of the Council ships. "They're doing nothing," reported an officer. "Just sticking to our ships." Then the real attack began. From behind the moon, from the shadow of Mars, from the asteroid belt, the human fleet appeared. Not in one group, but from all directions. They fired their new weapons at the Council ships. The Council ships tried to return fire, but something was wrong. Their weapons weren't working right. Their shields were failing. "The small ships," Vrax suddenly realized. "They're interfering with our systems." This was the Trojan horse that Dr. Foster had created. Small unmanned ships that could attach to alien hulls and scramble their systems from the inside. The human fleet pressed their attack. Though smaller and fewer, their ships could now hit the weakened Council vessels. And because they were attacking from all sides, the Council fleet couldn't form a defensive position. "Our ships are taking heavy damage," reported Vrax's officer. "Group 7 and 9 are asking for retreat orders." Vrax couldn't believe it. His fleet had never retreated, never lost. It wasn't possible. On the USS Defiant, Admiral Carter watched the battle unfold. "Press the attack," he ordered. "Don't give them time to regroup." For hours, the battle raged across the solar system. Council ships tried to adapt to the human tactics, but they were too set in their ways. They had fought the same way for thousands of years. The humans changed their plans minute by minute. Finally, Vrax made a decision he never thought he would make. "All ships retreat to Rally Point Alpha. We need to regroup." As the damaged Council ships began to pull back, a cheer went up on the bridge of the Defiant. "They're running," said Commander Wright. "Not running," Carter corrected her. "Regrouping. This battle isn't over yet, but we've shown them something important today." "What's that, sir?" Carter smiled grimly. "That humans will never be slaves, and that the Council isn't as all-powerful as they thought." As the Council ships retreated, the people of Earth celebrated their first victory. But everyone knew this was just the beginning. The real war for human freedom had just begun. High Enforcer Vrax stood on the bridge of his damaged ship. Around him, Council workers rushed to fix broken systems. The ship's lights flickered, and some screens stayed dark. "Status report," he demanded. His second-in-command looked down at his tablet. "We lost 8 ships. 12 more have heavy damage. The humans hurt us badly." Vrax could not believe it. In his 300 years as an enforcer, he had never lost a battle. No new species had ever damaged even one Council ship, let alone 8. "How?" he asked. "How did they do this?" "The small devices they attached to our ships," explained the second-in-command. "They found a way to disrupt our shield frequencies, and their attack pattern was unlike anything we have seen before." Vrax looked out at the stars. The human homeworld was still out there, now protected by their victorious fleet. "The Council will not accept this defeat," Vrax said. "We must attack. Again, sir, our ships need repairs. The crews are tired and scared." "Scared? Of humans?" Vrax slammed his fist on a console. "Unacceptable. We will regroup, then attack from a new direction. We still have more ships and better technology." In the Council chambers, High Counselor Kavar received the news of the defeat. His pale blue skin turned almost white. "Impossible," he said. "The enforcement fleet has never been defeated." "Yet it has happened," said Counselor Drell. "Perhaps now we should consider talking with the humans as equals." "Never," said Counselor Myra. "This changes nothing. Send more ships. Crush them completely." Kavar looked old and tired. For the first time in thousands of years, the Council faced a real challenge. "We cannot send more ships right away. It would show weakness to other species. We must let Vrax finish the job." Around the table, the Council members looked worried. If humans could defeat their fleet, what else might they do? Back at Earth, Admiral Carter met with Earth's leaders. The mood was happy but serious. "We won the first battle," Carter told them. "But the war is far from over. The Council will attack again." "How much time do we have?" asked the President of the United States. "Maybe 2 days," Carter said. "They need to fix their ships." "What do you need from us?" asked the leader of China. "Everything," Carter said, simply. "Every ship, every weapon, every person who can fight. And I need Dr. Foster to make more of her Trojan horse devices." Dr. Foster nodded. She looked tired but proud. "We're already building more, but I think we can make them better now that we've seen how they work against real Council ships." General Lane spread a map of the solar system on the table. "We should put defenses here, here, and here," he said, pointing at different spots. "They won't expect another attack from behind." The leaders agreed. All around Earth, People worked faster than ever. The first victory gave them hope, but everyone knew the Council would come back stronger. In space, the human fleet took up new positions. They had lost 3 ships in the battle, but had captured 2 Council ships. Scientists were already taking these ships apart, learning even more about alien technology. On the USS Defiant, Commander Wright brought Admiral Carter a message. "Sir, we're getting a transmission. It's from Counselor Drell." Carter was surprised. Why would a council member contact them? "Put it through." The alien face appeared on the screen. Drell looked nervous. "Admiral Carter, I don't have much time. Vrax is planning a new attack. He will come from the direction of your sun, using its light to hide his approach." "Why are you telling us this?" Carter asked. "Because the Council is wrong about humans," Drell said. "For too long, we have forced other species to follow our rules. Maybe it's time for change." The screen went dark. Carter turned to Wright. "Could it be a trick?" Wright thought for a moment. "Possibly, but why tell us about an attack from the sun? That's a good strategy. If they wanted to trick us, they would send us in the wrong direction." Carter nodded. "Alert all ships. Reposition to defend against an attack from the direction of the sun." 2 days later, the Council fleet appeared again. Just as Drell had warned, they came from the direction of the sun, using its bright light to hide their approach. But the human fleet was ready. As soon as the Council ships appeared, Earth's defenses opened fire. Huge guns on the moon shot at the approaching ships. The human fleet attacked from both sides. Vrax was shocked. How did they know? How were they waiting for us? The battle was even harder than the first one. Council ships exploded one after another. The humans had learned from the first fight and were even better now. After 6 hours of battle, Vrax made a decision. All remaining ships retreat, leave the solar system. As the surviving Council ships fled, cheers erupted across Earth. They had won again. The mighty Council, rulers of the galaxy for 12,000 years, had been defeated by humans. Admiral Carter watched the retreating ships on his screen. "Send a message to all Earth governments," he ordered. "The immediate threat is over, but we need to prepare for what comes next." "What will that be, sir?" asked Wright. "Diplomacy," Carter said. "Now that we've shown we can fight, it's time to show we can talk. Send a message to the Council. Tell them we're ready to meet and discuss peace terms." "Do you think they'll agree?" Wright asked. "They have to," Carter said. "We've done what no species has done in 12,000 years. We've shown the Council they're not all-powerful. Now we need to show them there's a better way than force." On Iam, the main Council world, High Counselor Kavar called an emergency meeting. All 342 species were represented. "The humans have defeated our fleet," he announced. The room filled with shocked voices. "They now offer to discuss peace." "We should destroy their entire planet," shouted Counselor Myra. "With what fleet?" asked Counselor Drell. "Our ships are destroyed or damaged, and other species are watching. If we appear weak now, we risk rebellion throughout the galaxy." Kavar knew Drell was right. For the first time in thousands of years, the Council had to consider negotiating with a species as equals. "We will send a diplomatic team to Earth," he decided. "We will hear their terms." As the news spread across the galaxy, many species watched with interest. The humans had done the impossible. They had stood up to the Council and won. Now everything might change. On Earth, humans celebrated but remained watchful. Their victory had earned them the right to be heard. Now they needed to decide what kind of relationship they wanted with the rest of the galaxy. "What do we ask for?" President Jordan asked Admiral Carter. Carter looked out at the stars. "Freedom, the right to choose our own path, and the same right for any other species that wants it." A new chapter in galactic history was about to begin, and humans would help write it. The Grand Council chamber had never been so full. All 342 member species had sent their leaders. Some had to stand in the back because there were not enough seats. In the center of the round room, where people usually came to beg the Council for mercy, stood 3 humans. Admiral William Carter wore his best uniform with gold buttons. Next to him stood Dr. Elaine Foster in a simple blue suit. The third human was Ambassador Linda Howard, chosen to speak for all Earth governments. High Counselor Kavar looked much older than when the humans had first been discovered. His blue skin seemed paler, his body more bent. The defeat of the Council fleet had shaken him deeply. Humans of Earth, he began in a tired voice. You have been called here to discuss the terms of peace between us. Ambassador Howard stepped forward. Unlike most beings who stood before the Council, she showed no fear. Thank you, High Counselor, but I must correct you on one point. We are not here to receive terms. We are here as equals to discuss how we can work together. Gasps came from many council members. No one spoke to the High Counselor this way. Counselor Myra's feathers stood up in anger. The defeat of our fleet does not make you our equals. You are still a young, primitive species. Young, yes, Howard agreed calmly. But we have proven we are not primitive, and we have shown that your way of forcing species to obey is not the only way to keep peace. Dr. Foster activated a small device. A map of space appeared, showing Earth's solar system and the area around it. This is what we call the protected zone. Within this space, Earth claims full control. We will not accept Council authority here. Impossible, Myra shouted. Several trade routes go through that area. 2 member species have colony worlds there. They are welcome to stay, Howard explained. We don't want to make anyone leave. Any species can still travel through the zone or live on their worlds. We only ask that they respect our freedom and follow some basic rules about not threatening Earth. Kavar leaned forward in his seat. And if the Council rejects these terms, will you attack us again? Admiral Carter spoke for the first time. We don't want war. We fought only to defend ourselves. The ships you sent back with their crews will tell you we treated them well. We could have destroyed them all, but we chose to show mercy. The room was silent. Many council members looked at each other in surprise. The council rarely showed mercy to those who opposed it. We propose a new kind of relationship, Howard continued. Earth will remain free but open to peaceful trade and cultural exchange with all species. We want to learn from you and share what we know, but as partners, not as servants. Councillor Drell stood up. Fellow council members, I think we should consider what the humans offer. Our ways have not changed in thousands of years. Perhaps it is time to try something new. Change is dangerous, argued Myra. What these humans suggest would weaken the council's power. Maybe some power should be shared, said Dr. Foster. From what we've learned, many council species have stopped growing under your control. They no longer create new things or try new ideas. They just follow rules made long ago. Kavar raised his hand for quiet. You speak of things you don't understand, human. The galaxy is vast and dangerous. Our rules exist for good reasons, not just to control others. Then explain those reasons, Ambassador Howard challenged. Talk to us as equals, not as children. That's all we've asked from the beginning. The council chamber erupted in loud debate. Younger species seemed excited by the humans' ideas. Older, more powerful species were angry and afraid of change. After many hours of argument, Kavar finally raised his staff for attention. He looked tired, but determined. The council, he began slowly, each word seeming to cost him effort. We'll accept the human protected zone for now. We will talk more about how it will work and what rules will apply. Ambassador Howard nodded. That's a good start. As the meeting ended, many species came to talk to the humans. Some were curious, some grateful. Others gave warnings about making enemies of powerful council members. Do you think it will last? Foster asked Carter quietly as they prepared to return to their ship. Carter watched the various aliens talking together excitedly. Many were speaking directly to each other instead of through council officials. I don't know, but we've opened a door that's been closed for 12,000 years. What happens next? Howard wondered. Something better than being forced to obey, Carter said. Freedom can be messy and sometimes dangerous, but it's the only way to truly grow and create new things. As the humans left the council chamber, news was already spreading across the galaxy. A small young species from a normal yellow star had done what no one thought possible. They had said no to the council and survived. This made many species start asking questions they had been afraid to ask. Could they also have more freedom? Could they make their own choices? What might life be like outside the Council's strict control? On board their ship heading back to Earth, the three humans looked at the stars outside the window. "We've changed the galaxy today," Howard said. "It won't be easy," Carter warned. "The Council won't give up power quickly. There will be more fights ahead." "But not just our fights," Foster added. "Did you see how many species were interested in our ideas? We won't be alone." Far away on the Council world, Councillor Drell met secretly with representatives from 20 younger species. "The humans have shown us a new path," he told them. "For too long, we have accepted the Council's control without question. Now we can start to change things slowly but surely." "Will the humans help us?" asked one alien. "I believe they will," Drell said. "They fight hard, but they also understand working together. They don't want to rule the galaxy. They just want everyone to be free to choose their own way." Back on Earth, people celebrated the news from the Council meeting. Schools were closed for a day of celebration. In towns and cities, humans gathered to watch broadcasts from space, but leaders knew that this was just the beginning. Earth needed to stay strong and keep developing new technology. The Council might accept human freedom for now, but some members would never truly accept Earth as an equal. Admiral Carter stood on the bridge of the USS Defiant, looking down at Earth. Commander Wright joined him. "What are you thinking, sir?" she asked. "I'm thinking about history," Carter said. 100 years ago, we were still fighting each other. Now we're changing the whole galaxy. "For the better, I hope," Wright said. Carter nodded. "That's up to us. We fought for our freedom. Now we need to show we deserve it." As the Defiant orbited Earth, other ships from the fleet joined it, forming a protective ring around the planet. On the surface below, humans looked up at the night sky, seeing the stars not as distant points of light, but as places they might one day visit. The galaxy was changing, and humans would help guide that change, not through force like the Council, but through the power of their ideas and their unbreakable spirit. A new age had begun.